Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Penciled In Podcast, episode 7. 7. I know.
Sieben.
With me, as always, is the wonderful producer Petter.
Guten Abend.
Fresh back from his fun evening at the Ghost concert at the MEN. I refuse to call it the AO. With a fresh
the 9X Arena, even.
Sorry?
Some call it the 9X Arena still.
Oh, God, wow. That's taking it back. If anyone calls it the Phones for You Arena, I'd stop it, child. Because that's a madness.
It is one of those arenas where it is a good quiz of can you name every single sponsor's name.
That's got to be a pub quiz. Keep that in mind.
But that's for another podcast.
Indeed. And it's just myself today. As you can see, penciled in. Nikki is still recovering from her recent surgery. She is doing she's still very sore. It sucks, but she's doing really well with it. So super proud. She's getting up, she's kicking ass. So send some love to penciled in Nikki. I'll probably Sorry, everything. What? Oh God. She's here. Damn, she's here. There she is. We said, did you have that ready to rock as well? Just
Maybe.
knowing, does it live there permanently? In case.
If we have someone drop out, it is literally in that kind of.
That is them.
It is in that glass cabinet, so to speak, to break out.
Okay.
So
in case Nikki's unavailable.
My little friend.
It is a friend. Its eyes are. I mean, Jesus, that is stunning. Almost as beautiful as she is. Just gonna hate that one. Fucked up. This is why I'm not allowed on my own.
Yes.
It is a very cool week. It is a week that brings everyone together in the world of wrestling. It is WrestleMania week, and as much as I will admit, I'm excited to watch WrestleMania. We've got a lot of friends over there watching it and stuff like that. And myself and Nikki, we have our own little rituals for it. That ain't what I'm going to be talking about. That is as much WrestleMania talk as they're going to be, because there is so much cool stuff happening. Producer Petter has been to some shows. He's going to tell us about Infamous today, which I'm super excited for, because unfortunately we weren't able to go. But he's going to give us the lowdown on that today. I'm going to be talking GCW Collective. And yeah, we're just, as always, going to talk some wrestling, the good side of things, and have a blast. If I can, keep myself from threatening producer Petter with violence toward his knees.
Many have tried, many have failed.
I am not one of those people.
Actually, no, you have actually.
No.
You have.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
one step above them. That's what you are.
I'm that generational talent.
If WWID had people for injuring people, you would have been one of the first people they contacted.
Oh, that one upset me. That was actually a bit cut in that.
But true.
It didn't upset me.
As Bobby Fish, where's the lie?
Oh, go away, Bobby Fish. So, producer Petter. How was Ghost?
Ghost was great.
Are you going to be able to talk this evening for an extended period of time?
We'll put it this way. As you very well know, because I sent you audio this morning, this afternoon, of how my voice sounded. I'm in two minds whether to actually play the audio in the background as I'm saying this.
It was like when Phoebe got sick in Friends.
I effectively sounded slightly Barry White, I think is the best way to describe it. And informed of my plans on Thursday evening. Which, if I decide to add the audio in, it will become clearer. But the show itself, absolutely incredible. Obviously, because I brought the shirt, which will scan because, you know, why not? I will just take a picture and post it anyway. But for those that are interested to know where I was,
I may be
I need to get my
going
spyglass.
to a pub quiz in town.
Somewhere around there.
I see you.
But I don't know which pub it is.
Having a...
And maybe that's no lie.
Looking at you as if I'm like Jesus in Dogma going... But yeah, fun show.
Lovely.
Went with my mate Dan, who had travelled up from Spalding, that I know from meetups, to see. Shout out Gemma Edwards, because it's all the beanies I seem to buy of her. But
wait,
yeah.
You have more than one of those? I thought it was
three.
the same one. I know you've got a black and white one, but I thought
I've got a black and white one. I've got the Heather one, as it's called, and there is a blackout one.
No, you buy that logo. If you don't have that logo on your head, I spoon out.
And to be honest, I've got almost every merch she has, other than a tote bag, because I don't need a tote bag.
It doesn't sound like you care enough as a fan, really.
No. She did used to put wallpaper or give away wallpaper as a gift.
Nice. Okay.
It's hard to explain, but if you watch the streams, it makes perfect sense, and is quite humorous. But again, that's for a different podcast. Ghost, great show. If anyone is going to see him, I know a couple of people seeing them in, I think it's Glasgow, and I think it's Birmingham tonight as we're recording. I think it's Glasgow towards the end of the week. You will not be disappointed. It is amazing. So you will not have me here say a bad word. I probably did more singing at any concert last night than I have anywhere else. Other than that, ended up in Satan's Hollow till gone 2 a.m.
On a school night, so
I know. Thank God I had the day off, because I needed it.
That would have been all day.
We were the first ones there at the venue. Then it very quickly got a bit packed. Played Ghost, played loads of like music I like. It got drawn by the devil that's in there. Well, there's a couple of devils, but there's one that has a slight look of the devil from South Park, I feel. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, where the DJ box is. It just very fun. First time going there. Been wanting to go there for years.
Have you ever been to Satan's Hollow before?
No.
Oh man.
Because even though I've lived in Manchester my entire life, I've probably only had, up until last night, 2 nights out in Manchester. Normally it's Southampton, obviously, because it's where I'd go for the meetups. But yeah, I had a very enjoyable evening. More enjoyable than travelling home from Saturday night, which I have waxed lyrical about off camera.
You did.
But we will we'll keep on happy themes.
That's right. We'll keep that positive edge going. Just before we go into that, I would like to say this on Nikki's behalf, just because she gets a lot of comments based off one of her t-shirts. I am actually the Ghost fan in this household. Nikki doesn't actually really know Ghost all that well. However, she has a Ghostface t-shirt because her favorite movie is Scream. When she bought it, it had the Ghost logo. So every time someone sees it, it was like, oh my God, you're into Ghost. Oh my God, like, this is amazing. Like, and they start going into, she's just like, I don't fucking give a damn about, I don't know Ghost. I know Scream. And I was like, where's the t-shirt? Where's the t-shirt? It's like, look for the fucking Scream t-shirt. That's for her. That's for Nikki. I love Ghost. She does actually. She now understands who they are as a band and everything. So, but yes,
I'll say this. Yesterday, though, traveling into town at about 3 o'clock.
Back on travel. What the fuck?
Everywhere in Manchester yesterday, Ghost shirts. I haven't. You don't see that many football shirts on a match day.
Yeah.
Even at a final, you don't see that many shirts. Everywhere was like Ghost, 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 Ghost. Go to the toilet, Ghost. Go to a shop, Ghost. Literally anywhere yesterday I went, there was Ghost. It was whether it was hoodies, shirts, beanies, people dressed up as nuns, people dressed up as
that's awesome.
What's it called, monks because of sanitized. Or just people dressed up as like the old like Papa.
Like I was gonna say, but there's a lot of ghouls and a lot of Papas.
Me and my mate could not believe. We knew there's like it has a hardcore fan base. Did I not realise that till yesterday? Yeah,
people have been making a trip out of this for sure.
It's the best way to describe it for those that don't know is. I think it was my mum made a good observation without even knowing anything about it. She went, it seems very like Rocky Horror Show.
It's reasonable.
It's probably not that too far off.
Yeah. It's like it's like gothic, even like somehow more gothic, churchy, Rocky Horror, very theatrical, very over the top, and it's just awesome.
Because the only band closer to Ghost on a smaller scale fan wise but very similar is another band that I love, Creeper. Everyone dresses up as like vampires because they're in the like a vampire stage at the moment of like the last album. If I had to have the perfect music thing at the moment, it would be Ghost and Creeper together.
Yeah.
That would be my rock Valhalla, so to speak.
Well, do Ice Nine kills, Creeper will be there.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see. I will happily just go for the warm pack and come home. I was discussing this yesterday. Said I would happily just go for the warm up and go home. But yes, we're here to talk wrestling. So
yeah, that's for the other thing that we will do.
Yes.
So, producer Petter, infamous, the 12th of April.
Dogs of War.
It was Dogs of War.
I nearly said War Dogs because I thought Bullet Club, and then I thought, no, it's not War Dogs. It's Dogs of War.
Dogs of War.
I can't do my impression of Brian Blessed as well because my voice is still croaky.
Dude, Barry White being Brian Blessed.
Barry White would just make it sound more kind of like sexy. But
Brian Blessed, pretty sexy.
I mean, Brian Blessed in his own way could make it sexy.
Gordon, I mean, I get it.
Yeah. I'd pay to have Brian Blessed sing "Let's Get It On," even though it was Marvin Gaye, but it'd still be interesting to hear him.
That'd be very interesting. I would have him read it to me in like a dramatic fashion.
Let's get it on.
No.
Brian Blessed reads 50 Shades of Grey.
Tell me about Infamous.
I would do it.
No, stop. Infamous wrestling.
Yes. So there was a lot that happened on Saturday. The start of the show saw them playing the clip of Pitbull. I think it was going into DJ King Brothers' shop, or
Yes.
Yep. So they kind of recapped Pitbull attacking King's brother, challenging, saying, "You know what I want," which drew King out. He came into the ring, grabbed the microphone, said, "No, he knew Pitbull was there. Come out. I want to know what you want." And then we got treated to another video, and saw him putting another kind of like challenge and threatening things. I couldn't hear very good, I'll be honest, because the audio was a bit funny at first, but you kind of got the gist.
Yeah.
The 28th of June. Oh. It'll be me and Pitbull one-on-one.
Yeah.
So
He's back.
that is one match that we will see. For the card itself, though, the first match saw Joe Kessler against Christy Quinlan, or Christy Quinlan, if I can get my words right. For an opening contest, this was really good.
Everything I enjoy about that style of match, I bet, was there, because it just, there's no way those dudes did not slap.
It was hard hitting from opening bell.
Love it.
It felt like it went a bit back and forth in the early exchanges. Christy with like the crowd on his side. Joe, who's a heel, and obviously kind of, I mean, Kessler I enjoy watching because he doesn't look for like adulation from like the fans, as you shouldn't. But then when he turns it on, and he pretty much just started beating the crap out of Quinlan.
He's a monster of a man, like to behold, he's monstrous.
And the thing that I think Miles pointed out was they looked like very similar height, or from where we were at least, which I think made it as well, because it was two kind of beefy guys just slapping meat, and it was a hard hitting contest. That's all you have to say.
Really
hard hitting. Kessler gave a running knee into the ribs of Quinlan, who at one point we thought he was going to throw up because it looked a vile knee, and he like spitting, or we thought he was going to like throw up on the outside for a time. Kessler just carried on the beat down. Christie then started to form a comeback, but in the end, Kessler won with the end of days to keep Kessler looking strong. Christie got helped back by Pud. Really fun first match. Really enjoyed it. Second match was one of a couple of matches I was looking forward to. This was the start of the infamous 8 tag team tournament.
Wow. This is something that's going over a couple of shows, and I'm very excited to be able to go and see one and to actually watch this one. Hopefully, we can like hound Tommy Jackson to play play some matches on his streams. So Tommy, if you're listening,
I think he might do one at least. I'm not saying why.
Oh.
But we had Act 2 taking on the 05, two of the brightest young tag teams. It kind of surprised us, the start of the contest, because they're both known for being like high flying and very energetic, like speedsters.
Yeah.
it was very technical for the first opening stages.
Cool.
So there was a lot of wrestling moves. One could say they didn't want to kind of like burn out all their kind of like fast-paced moves. They knew it was kind of trying to ground down the other first, then get into it. But then it was kind of, again, back and forth. The 05 knocked Act 2 out. Act 2 got back in. When it seemed like it was going to be all very friendly and everything, as it had been, hands came out by Act 2, and Jack Knudsen basically kicked Deck Henry, and then attacked Harvey Dukes. So from that point onwards, it felt very much like Act 2 were going to be, I won't say the bad guys, but they kind of used their experience more, shall we say.
Yeah.
In between is probably the best way to use it, because they weren't good and they weren't bad.
Bit of frustration from Jack Knudsen, maybe.
Possibly.
Had a rough go. He's had a rough go in Infamous the last few shows, so maybe he's starting to. He's like, no bullshit. Learn from that previous one with Skinner. You can't be shaking hand. Did he go for the handshake with Skinner previously? Fair enough. Let's do this. Or something?
I don't even recall. To be fair, I don't even recall a handshake.
I don't know if it happened. It just seems like the type of nonsense for that. Paul, you know.
But anyway, Act 2 kind of really dominated most of this match, isolating Deck Henry. Harvey Dukes was getting more agitated because he wanted to get in.
Yeah.
Eventually, when the tag came, he ended up trying to clear house. Then it seemed like he was going to be the isolated one. And then from that point, it just seemed like both teams hitting high-flying moves, high-impact moves. They did try to hit the Day Tripper on Henry.
All right.
Henry got out of the way and managed to kick out. They tried it the second time, and that was enough to pick up the win and see them progressing through to the... Well, I don't know if it's a semis or if it's a final, because I've been told it's going to be a four-way final.
Oh, right. Okay.
Whether that's true or not, if not, blame Miles, because I think he told me. So I don't particularly know.
This is wonderful, by the way, because it's a tournament and I don't know the results. And a tournament immediately, I fucking love a tournament. Nicky does as well. So hearing this, because I don't necessarily know the results. So when you're saying, I'm just like, who is it?
It's great because I think Nicky knows and you don't. Yeah.
I've looked as well. It's the thing. It's just not gone in. My brain is in 12 directions.
So the next match we had, which was so much fun, and when it comes out available, please watch it because it's fun and it kind of showcases how wacky and quirky, but how great wrestling is in Britain. As it was Man Like Dries making his infamous debut, taking on Jack Johnson,
amazing,
King of Salford.
I bet it was so Eddie chill. I bet that was a lot of fun.
Oh well, we had Dries come out,
do his intro, right? Good man.
And I'll say this for Dries. When he came out, there was a few people. There was, I'll say, a splattering of like people just going, "Yeah, it's Dries." There wasn't a lot at this point. At this point, I will say at the end what the hell happened. But anyway, Dries does his whole thing of when I say 0-1, you say 2-1, 0-1, 2-1, 0-1, 2-1. Johnson attacks him from behind, beats him up, grabs the microphone, and goes, "This isn't Birmingham. This isn't," kind of like basically bad mouths, runs down Runcorn, grabs the microphone, carries on his verbal assault. And certain people knew where this was going. One person we know very well because he was sat next to me. So he started to go, when I say 0-1, you go 6-1. Now, you're in Runcorn.
Yeah. It's not
you were nearer Liverpool than Manchester.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
Nope.
Let me tell you that. But God loves a trier, as they say.
Yeah.
So, of course, he comes to a 0-1, 6-1. And the kids and everyone there basically returned the response with 0-1, do one. Which was quite funny.
That's awesome.
I have to say that.
When I say 0-1, you say 6-1.
Do one.
0-1, 6-1. 0-1, 6-1.
Anyway, the match. Where do you start? It was
It to be a good match because it's Soph and Jack and man like Dries, and they are two dudes who just fucking go. And the more I do Soph and Jack, the more I like man like Dries. I'm seeing him in every single show. I'm watching UK, and then the next day he's in the US, and then 2 days later he's back in the UK. He's fucking everywhere, and it's brilliant.
It was a match of two halves.
Okay.
One half was wrestling. One half was just comedy.
Love it.
So, and Dries basically chopped the hell out of Jack. So much so that the following day at Future Shock, there was a massive handprint on his chest still. The following day. And I said, yeah, that's Dries' work.
There it is.
So if anyone has seen any of the footage I posted of Jack, or if anyone sees photos of Future Shock from Sunday, and you see a massive red mark on his chest, it's because of Dries. Because he must have chopped him at least 8 to 10 times in the match. And not one of them missed. They were full-on smackers.
He's built to high heaven as well. Those chops, he throws them.
Oh dear.
Good chop. It's not. That's gonna suck. I bet ring in the hall. I bet the noise it made in that hall, the snap, must have been fucking brilliant.
We'll put it this way: when you watch the footage back,
yeah,
because you've got the full-length version.
Yeah.
You will, I guarantee you will hear these chops and you will turn away and wince.
Okay.
And he took many chops in this match. And it's not a case of like some don't particularly hit and they're kind of like, say if you get chopped 5 times, 2 of them like really good ones.
Yeah.
He's all landed.
Nice.
And I think Jack probably thought, I don't like this. About midway through. But yeah, so that was going on. I don't know where, but then Dries ended up with a sucker gun. Like a kid's with like foam kind of like pellet things.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So like a nerve gun.
Yeah.
Like the old style foam bullet things. Bearing in mind you had Uncle Ryan in Jack's corner.
Oh, brilliant! Of course.
So
He's only going to make things better and more entertaining. If you're doing comedy, you got a dream team there with Uncle Ryan and man like Therese.
And it is the thing of people will see this because I will be posting the footage over this. But it's the thing of Therese holding the gun towards Jack, who went from full on, come on then, to no, I give up, hands in the air, walking back, going, no, mate, no, mate. Uncle Ryan then finds one himself, so he comes round to try and protect Jack. Jack then gets one at him by Therese. Ryan comes running at Therese. He gets shot. And gets one. I think he took one like to the cheekbone and he dropped. It's one of those things where I think Miles and me were either laughing or just sat thinking, what are we watching? What are we doing here?
Oh, how did
a fun way. And then we had when did we go from there? Oh, we had Therese grabbing Johnson, went to chop him again. I think he did chop him. Still holding the gun.
Yeah.
Asked for 2 kids to hold Jack.
Perfect.
And of course, you've got all little kids happy to hold back someone.
Oh, yeah.
Happy to outweigh them about 3 to 1. Even if you had all the kids try and hold Jack, he would get 3. But of course, this is wrestling. So, of course, someone that's 90 pounds can easily beat someone up that's about 50 or 500 pounds, I should say. So 2 kids basically hold Jack, and Therese being Therese thinks, where's the funniest place to hit a man?
Where else are you going to do it, man?
Yeah, the balls.
Yeah.
Holds it close by, shoots him.
Oh, we held it close? Dude, that's not okay.
I think it was just to make sure he hit it. I feel in Jack probably could have he could have gone like about 6 foot back, just so you know. Which, I mean, don't degrade a man, for God's sake.
We'll shoot a man in his balls.
Yeah. So from there, he then led Jack round the corner, or into the corner, where there was, I think, people he knew, or there was some from the Northwest contingent.
Right.
So this bloke basically held Jack, and Therese was going to, like, warming his hands to chop Jack again, which I could swear Jack's just thinking, oh, for God's sake. But then Uncle Ryan brought a gun and said, don't you dare do it, don't you dare do it. Therese then did it. Jack moved out the way and he full-on chopped this guy in the chest.
Oh, chips. Oh, snap. I certainly hope they knew him.
So the match carries on. They beat him down. They chop Therese. Therese then gets advantage back. But being the nice guy that he is, he looks over to the corner and profusely apologizes, saying, I'm sorry. Uncle Ryan then points the gun at him. Therese is going, no. Kicks the gun out of Ryan's hand, beats him up. There we go, back to wrestling, because you can't have too much fun on this. Johnson then took control of this match. Began with, I think he reversed a move, kicked Therese in the arm. Literally, from that point, it was Johnson in control. Therese then gained some control back, hitting a 619, which had all the kids really happy.
Oh, yeah.
All the kids, as the match went on, all the kids were chanting 0121. It's just like, he's just, this is the power of Therese.
He's a special dude, man. He can get you right there. He's one of those guys who can just, if you don't know him,
yeah,
at the end of it, you'll fucking know what he's about.
Yeah, and that definitely rang true here.
Yeah.
Therese won with a pile driver. This was after Uncle Ryan tried to attack. He got angry that ref Liam didn't count the 3 for Jack Johnson, pushed Liam a couple of times, to which Liam then shoved Ryan.
Leave him alone, refereeing.
Told him to get out of the ring. We thought he was sending him to the back, but Ryan stayed there. But then, as I say, Dries hit the pile driver. Ryan disappeared. Dries grabbed the microphone. Kind of said he loves British wrestling, going up and down the country, helping British wrestling. Johnson is still in the ring.
Okay.
And he says to Jack, "Why are you hanging around with characters like this? You are a good guy. You're just in with the wrong people. People will like you, but you need to change your attitude." So he says, "I'm offering now. He went, shake my hand to show that you want to change." And we're all thinking two things. One, he's going to shake his hand and boot him, or he'll just leave. Jack went up to Dries, looked at his hand, shook his hand, and left.
Oh!
So are we seeing a new Jack Johnson moving forwards?
Everywhere other than Sov,
Mm.
I've seen him as this little Salford shit, you
Mm.
know? And I love it.
And Salford.
And it's all, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So
And I do love to see a bit of character development happening in places as well. So that's fun. Very cool. Okay, that's pretty huge, man.
So it's interesting to see what happens with Jack Johnson moving forward in Infamous.
Absolutely.
We then came to the four-way match, which, as my notes tell me here, in Doctor's handwriting, is Dan Evans,
Yep.
Lewis Johnson, Tom Farewell, and Lucy Sky. This was a really fun match as well. Evans, I've never seen Evans before.
No, I don't believe I have. Not live anyway, not in person.
Intense as hell.
Okay.
It's think Warrior without the face paint and really great at wrestling.
He actually wrestle.
He has more moves. I can say that. And he was more fun than the Warrior.
Doesn't gas out before his entrance is over.
But he's very intense. That's the first thing that I realised about him. Very intense. Tom, we know what Tom is. We all know.
He's a legend.
He spent most of the match talking to us on the outside. In fairness. There was one I don't know if he got thrown over the rope or if he got hit. And he ended up coming out the ring. Seemed to fall face first on the outside on the kind of like the, I'll say the floor. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. It has no give, the floor, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's
So you had a couple of kids literally to a couple seats away, and he basically turned over and just went, effing hell.
Oh.
But not shouting it, just went, as you do.
A natural reaction.
Yeah, natural thing. Either that really hurt a lot, or it's just like, oh. Which did draw laughs, I will say. Was taken in good humour. Most of the match seemed to involve Sky, Johnson, and Evans.
Yeah.
Evans and Johnson seemed to almost make a little mini pact, so to speak. To which Sky was the unfortunate one that seemed to take the brunt of everything.
Yeah.
But Sky battled their way back in this contest. I mean, she was forced to, really. I mean, having two people
back against the wall, really. So
yeah.
she's a fighter, so do it.
Tom did get some offense in. Didn't seem too much, but he got some offense. Bless him. But Sky, who bore the brunt of all the heavy moves, The closing stages saw Johnson basically having Sky between his legs, looking like he was going to hit, I don't know, like a power bomb or something of that ilk. Sky reversed it into a kind of like a pin, shocked Johnson to win, and that wasn't all that happened. So after the match, Lucy Sky's on the ropes, kind of celebrating a big win.
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
Johnson is pissed.
Yeah.
Put it that way. As after he was pinned, the look of shock was on his face, like that guy after The Undertaker lost his streak. Left the ring, not happy. Sky's on the ring rope, celebrating. Johnson came running back in. So you're thinking, oh no, Lucy's done for.
Fuck her up.
Spins Lucy around, eye to eye, puts his hand out. Lucy doesn't know what to do, shakes hands. Basically, he says, like, well done. Raises her arm, leaves.
What's going on? What's going on? Why is everyone being so good?
So,
what's with all this? This is awesome.
So what's with like the changes at this show?
Yeah, I love that though. That's very, very cool. That's a really, and it's important as well. It's just like, yo, you fucking hung with some big fucking intense dudes right here, and you won. You like, I love the fact that he got so frustrated, but just had to come out and be like, no, like everyone needs to know that this is awesome. What's just happened. I need to give you your fucking flowers in person, kind of thing.
So that was a
as well. Always nice to hear when she wins.
Yeah. So she won. So we then moved. I think this is in between. We had microphone time for Josh Taylor, who had come out and said, I know I've been a bit of a prick. I know I've done bad things. I've badmouthed all of you in the past. Saying I want to change. I want to do this. I want to kind of like be someone you all like. Unbeknownst to him, coming from the doorway with a steel chair is the Hunter Bryant Strong.
Okay.
Crawls into the ring and proceeded to beat down Taylor with one of the hardest chair shots I've seen for a long time. It hurt like hell. It looked like, and it felt. Even I winced. I think a lot of people winced, and Drew gasps due to how
as well, like the
desperation
of that chair.
So he hit the hunted on him. Practically Strong just worn him out. Taylor will obviously be looking for revenge at the next show, I imagine. So don't be surprised if these two should meet up in June.
Yes.
The penultimate match.
Good use of that word.
It's not penultimate. Semi-penultimate.
Semi-penultimate?
Yes. Oh, penultimate. We had the king of Runcorn in Prince Pele taking on Adam Bolt, which was part of the Prince Pele Open Challenge.
Yep.
And obviously Adam Bolt accepted this. This wasn't a bad match, to be fair. Good. I've never seen Bolt wrestle. Definitely one I'd like to see back again because he was quite fun.
No, Adam Bolt is brilliant. Really good. Fast.
So, Bolt basically being the fiendish bad guy that he is, kind of talking down Pele, outmaneuvering him, being a bit of a dick, if we're being honest.
Oh.
Kind of out wrestling and just like giving him little slaps to say you're not as good as me.
Yeah.
This guy he's not on my level. Pele would then kind of like reverse that, so to speak, and start doing the same back to him, which obviously would draw the ire of him.
Of course.
Bolt, though, would gain the upper hand in this contest, basically beating Pele with a variety of moves, shall we say. But one thing I did enjoy was where he put him in a full Nelson, and with his arms up in the air, waved him from side to side and say, look, try and look, everyone, he's waving to the crowd. To which Bolt's, I don't know who it was that was on the outside with him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But effectively, you just had Pele in like the full Nelson. I mean, they'll see this because I'm posting the video as it is. But his arms are like that in a full Nelson, and his arms are going side to side because obviously he's in a full Nelson.
Yeah.
He's rocking him back and forth. Which drew boos. But I think, chuckling at this point because I'm thinking, that's a really good move. I've never seen that before.
We're making someone.
Yeah.
Do the swerve.
Yeah. That's another way. The invisible swerve. Prince Nana, as it is called. So, Bolt kind of gets arguably a bit overconfident. Pele fires back.
Very good.
Bolt then looks to try and regroup, take it back to Pele. But obviously, the hometown hero isn't going to take that lying down. Ends up getting the pinfall victory over Bolt, with Bolt not happy at all, unsurprisingly.
Shocking.
But during or prior to his pin, he did do the reverse to Bolt of having him in the full Nelson and making him wave.
Very good. Well done, Prince Pele.
Which is why we all love wrestling when things like that happen. So Pele picks up the victory.
Awesome.
And now we come to the penultimate match, because I was just messing with you all. It says,
I do good talks. I do good talky word.
Oh, I don't. So we had the second and final match of the evening in terms of the infamous 8 tag team tournament.
Yup.
Which was VGS, Casey Payne, and Tommy Jackson going up against the Horde in Gorgon and his monster, Solomon. This was almost like 2 matches in one, so to speak. Where you had Jackson and Gorgon, who not particularly on the same size. Gorgon being smaller, Jackson being a bit taller. And obviously Gorgon giving up more weight advantage to Jackson. But it was funny, Gorgon thinking he had the better of Jackson a couple of times, putting him in a submission hold at the start, with Casey Payne just going, tag me, and Jackson just looking around going, I'm not even in pain. He's not even just kind of going. And he just very quickly got out of it. Gorgon thinking he's got this move well and truly on him. No, he didn't. in truth. Which was what Gorgon eventually, it mostly seemed to do, of thinking he has the advantage, and he doesn't. I
like that shithousery.
Yeah,
I just love that, like,
it's all
clueless heel shit. Yeah,
but it's like, I've got like a big bodyguard that I can act like a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But I've got a bodyguard that will protect me. But speaking of that, on the other side of things, you had Casey Payne, big strong lad. And Solomon, big strong lad.
Oof.
So the first few minutes of them together was kind of like who moves first. So we had the traditional bumping of coming together, seeing who would move first. Spoilers, no one. Because they're two immovable objects. Casey did eventually take Solomon off his feet with a spinning heel kick after crashing into the ropes. Gorgon just pretty much seemed to be the unfortunate one. But he did get offense in. Fair play to him. Everyone loves a try-up.
We do.
But you always felt like VGS were going to win this. The ending saw Tommy Jackson with one of his new finishes of a headbutt.
Oh yes, I'm enjoying that he's keeping that as like a signature, if not a finisher, for sure.
Yeah. So Gorgon was on the top. I was going to say on the top shelf, which makes it seem like an elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
So Gorgon was on the top rope. Pardon. Oh, I thought he had more wind then. Should have got a kite.
That was it.
So Jackson came running. So it's Dr. Pepper. I can't help it. Jackson came running in, flying headbutt, which I almost feel should knock him out, if anything. KCP in running up the ring apron, kicks him, kind of Hurricane Rana.
Nice.
Gets him on the mat. Jackson hits his move. 1, 2, 3. VGS qualifies. After the match, we then had Quintessential.
Yes. Yes, because they have their match at the next show.
Who came in, raised their hands, applauded, and then proceeded to leave, which had Tommy Jackson's face of,
"Why are you leaving?
Why are you leaving? And why have you all of a sudden come?"
Yeah,
because they weren't there the entire match, but once the freak out happened, they then arrived and very quickly left. So what does this mean? It had Tommy Jackson very confused.
Love it. Keep it adding to the thing for the inevitable. I'm hoping inevitable. VGS showdown.
Many people think it will be a VGS final.
Mm-hmm.
Will that happen? We don't know. So watch this space.
Me and Nikki were looking at the bracket the other week. In fact, it was when she was about to go for a surgery. We were looking at it and like, yeah, this match is happening. This match. Oh, please, 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 because it can work out that way. We need it. Please.
But wrestling fans don't always get what they want.
That's very, very true. That is incredibly true. And what we got given, especially by Infamous and all these places that you go to, it's always very good. So thank you. I am a greedy boy.
And our final match was for the Infamous Championship. Isaac North defending against Big Deck McCarthy.
Of course, the match set up at the last show.
So a lot of talk that I heard beforehand was Deck's going to win this. Deck's going to be the new champion. From a tiny bit at the start, you thought the title could be changing here because it looked like Deck was on top and focused to win. But of course, North isn't a champion for no reason. He then came back, had McCarthy in a world of hurt. Some of the maneuvers, Deck just seemed to be kind of loosening, and you could see him being kind of not grounded into the mat, but kind of the spirit was there, but the body was breaking.
Getting worked over a bit.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden, Deck seemed to get a second wind, was taking it to North, and the thoughts then entered your head of, oh, is this going to be the night? Is he going to do it?
Round. Yeah.
But in the distance, behind the curtain, you could see a figure for a fair few minutes while McCarthy started to get fired up.
Okay.
But we didn't know who it was. And I
Was
don't think
this
anyone
something
else
that
knew.
was made like obvious, or it was just something you could see from your
Oh
angle?
no, something I could see.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
But I could see a figure, but I didn't know who it was.
Mm.
I said to Mom, I see someone watching. So I thought, some possible shenanigans? So McAfee is looking to be on course to win the title.
Mm.
But we then have McAfee, I think it was the Monaghan's call he hit.
Nice.
But then we had, before that we had the figure come out, and it was none other than Joe Kessler.
Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense. He was there that evening.
So Kessler was watching.
Yeah.
After hits Monaghan's goal, and we get 1, 2. Referee gets dragged out.
Oh.
So it looks like McAfee's not going to do it. It's Kessler's going to screw McAfee over. North looks to regain control. McAfee doesn't let him. And what we had, unfortunately, was North defending the title with... Oh, sorry. I forgot to include the thing because my brain is not working properly because I'm still trying to wake up from last night.
Ghost.
Yeah. The title was brought into play. North tried to use it on McAfee. He couldn't. McAfee then looked to kind of regain control. He couldn't. But then North dropped McAfee on the belt to pick up the 1, 2, 3. No one was happy.
No.
McAfee rolls out. North is looking around his ring. He's on top of the world. And then we get a video pop up.
Okay.
And it was Lance Rivera.
Oh, of course. Spider-Man's got a shot.
Challenge.
Yes.
Or I believe it was for June 28th. I stand to be corrected if not, because I couldn't fully hear. I don't always hear properly some of the audio because it was either too loud or it was very muffled. But I believe he says he wants to put a challenge in for June the 28th.
Very good.
So it looks like 2 matches, or 4 matches at least, look set for that card now. With Pitbull and DJ King. Yeah. We have the 2 other matches in the infamous 8 tag team tournament. And it looks like now Isaac North will be defending his title against Lance Rivera. So,
looking forward to that.
That is effectively your infamous roundup. After we've gone round the houses with certain things, and I remember what the hell happened.
You did really well.
I think the Dries match particularly took me back to a childhood wonder. But overall, really enjoyable. Interesting to see what happens moving forward. I don't particularly want to do ratings.
No need to do ratings.
But if we're doing, because I know Nikki mentioned about, don't do star ratings because no one likes star ratings. It's an old act. Use pencils.
Pencils are good.
So I will give the infamous show. I will give it, if we're doing it in quarter pencils, I will give it 4.25.
That right there, if you're going pencils, that's a 2B, king of pencils.
Because I will say this, I will not give any show a 5-star.
No.
because no show is fully ever deserving of
You're like
5
Austin.
stars. And I feel I went very high on the last show,
Yeah.
going 4.75, but I was giddy.
Yeah.
I may possibly reconsider later down the line and rejig, but for now I will say 4.25.
It's still a very solid.
Because
Sounds like a
I've realised I have now caused a technical ratings war with certain companies.
You have indeed. You started some shit. You didn't know it.
With Catching Atomic.
Yeah.
And on that side, bless you, but at the same time, caused me stress. So thank you very much.
Did you feel like all of a sudden, like someone just, like in Notting Hill when he opens the door and it's just presses out there, and you're like, "What the fuck? I'm being seen."
I feel more the case of opening the door and feel like Reese Effan just in my underpants, thinking.
Oh yeah, I do mean, but that's why.
The only difference is I wouldn't be flexing.
You should be.
I would just pop my head on and just go no, and then come back.
You made the I don't know, the Merseyside Wars thing.
But it's all fun.
We like all promotions. We love you all. Don't fight among yourselves. We love you.
If I go to promotions, it's because I like them. If I don't go to it, it's due to 2 reasons: trains, or I can't afford it. Because I wanted to go to Infinite tomorrow, and I can't because of shows, and particularly Ghost. And Ghost has worn me out, quite literally, physically, mentally, financially, and financially.
You are fucked.
They have wiped me out. But that is my infamous. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That sounds like an incredible show. Both of us here in the pencil case gutted that we couldn't go. However, it was for a very fucking good reason, and we will be hopefully at the next show. So yeah, winner. Thank you as always, producer Petter, for being on the boots on the ground.
Roving pencil reporter.
You are. You are our connection to the outside world.
The only thing is, I'm glad there is no costumes that have a pencil, because I feel I would be made to attend a wrestling show dressed as a pencil.
We'll all be wearing them, dude. We all wear different stationery. We're all different parts of this pencil case.
And I will stress this with the most seriousness.
It's happening.
As I say this, and I mean this.
Yeah.
Sincerely now. If anyone sends me a link to a pencil costume,
every single person do it now.
I will come for you. I will come.
I mean, like, this isn't an X-rated show, dude. You can't be doing that. I'm saying that's the Patreon. Choose your words.
Only pencils. You should know this now.
You need sharpening, boy.
That's all it is. People making bras out of pencil shavings.
I mean, that takes...
Or budgie smugglers out of pencil shavings.
Not being funny, but if someone made you a bra out of pencil shavings, you have to wear that because that takes effort.
No.
That takes effort.
Pay me, and I will.
No.
You mean no?
Not because I wouldn't, but because I literally cannot.
And I will say, just having a bra and putting one pencil shaving does not count.
That doesn't. No. I'm talking like full on.
It's got to be full of pencil. What the hell are we talking about?
I know. Yeah, it was. This is
what normally we record these earlier in the evening, and now we're getting to like past Watershed.
Yeah. Yep.
This is what it's come to.
Well, on that note.
Yes, on that note.
Here's a clap, Pete. And Petter has left the room. He's left me on my own. No, I'm very alone. This could go anywhere. This might not be about wrestling anymore. To be fair, this one is half not been. We spoke mostly about go. I'm just going to continue with what I was actually supposed to do because that is the whole point of this stuff is about wrestling. So don't worry, I didn't talk any wrestling.
Jeez.
You really did look like you just came out of the ether there. You're right.
Yeah, it's because I've got a broken chair.
I hear that.
Forgetting.
My chair, they were missing a wheel.
Oh, I'll show you what the chair looks like.
It's not scanning.
It's because I'm not sent you yet.
Oh, he's sending me a picture. Fair enough. I do need more. Oh wow, you are keeping that together.
Because I leant on it the other day.
You asked me in the corner.
Laughing.
Hello, I'm Jay Sherman, and this is Coming Attraction.
Right, where was I? So yes, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, it is a. Are you okay, producer? Are you okay, Pat?
I just tried to put the arm of the chair in, and it completely went under the seat, and I felt a lump go under my leg, under the cushion. It's all right. It's in place at the moment. Continue.
As long as you're comfortable.
Oh, I'm not comfortable, but
like as context, you're the daddy. So this week, as I'd mentioned before, is WrestleMania week, and with that comes what was mine and Nikki's favorite part of WrestleMania last year, which was the GCW Collective. Now, if you're not familiar, the GCW Collective is essentially just GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, basically producing or being the kind of hub for a bunch of different promotions. You got Progress, TJPW, Defy, WWE ID. There's a Bloodsport with Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. There's a lot of, and obviously GCW shows and much more. And it is such a cool thing because it just feels like when we say it said it in the previous episodes, it's a true WrestleFest. And last year highlights were like Bloodsport. We got to actually watch those hard, very like shoot style wrestling matches that we've come to really, really love. The Progress show was absolutely brilliant. I think it was their first one in America? I don't know, but it was absolutely a great show. I believe that was also around the time when Progress and Defy became a thing together as well. So that was really huge. TJPW, we got introduced to so many different wrestlers, as more deathmatch wrestlers, shoot style wrestlers, as I mentioned, Joshi wrestlers, wrestlers from the LGBTQ community, sorry, didn't have the plus, for Effie's Big Gay Brunch. And we watched our first spring break, Joe Janela spring break. So it really left a mark. So this year heading into it, we are like, our entire week it's just this stuff. Like, yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday and Sunday and stuff like that. We for the the Fed's big shows, but these indie shows are what you need to be watching because they'll take your breath away, and you're going to see young, hungry talent just fucking giving it their all, knowing that all eyes are on Las Vegas as far as wrestling goes this weekend. So to kick it off, someone has very kindly, which I'll send it to you, producer Petter, so we can post it. Someone has very kindly on Twitter, I do believe their name is Honey Cake Man, has made a fantastic Excel spreadsheet which has all the shows happening from today, Wednesday in America, onwards to Sunday night when it ends with I do believe the last show It's probably it'll be Mania, I'd imagine, or no. The last shows are actually, I believe, GCW shows. It's fine, but it's got all the times on there. It's got where you can watch them online. You know, Triller, USA Network, whatever they've got, whatever you've got available to you, even in there. It then has the local time, the other kind of time things in America time, and the UK time. It is a very, very nicely well put together little list of shows. So we'll make that available to people because it's honestly going. It's our schedule. Maud Maud, shout out. She's also done a schedule which looks genuinely like a TV schedule you'd see in Radio Times at Christmas. So that was really cool. And I also have this little graphic here, which I will send to Petter also. So what I'm just going to do, because over the next couple of days, we're going to put out some videos with the shows that are coming the next day. What happened the night before on some of the shows that we've seen. And nothing much, just like little bits, just to kind of keep everyone up to date on what's cracking in and around Vegas this entire weekend.
Pencil shavings, as we like to call them.
These are the pencil shavings of the GCW Collective at Mania Weekend 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Boom! That felt good to say. Because we're finally here. We've been so excited since last year for this. So on the Thursday, some of the main shows that are happening are the GCW produced WWE ID tournament. That's the first show. That's kicking off at midnight tonight UK time. So it'll already be on by the time this airs. But it's going to be the first thing that we watch. That's followed by Dragongate at 4 a.m. That's the Rebirth show. Really excited for that. Dragongate brings a lot of different promotions and different wrestlers together. And I've only seen a couple of the shows from back in the day, back when like Mox and Seth Rollins were still on the indies and stuff like that. And it's absolutely, I mean, I only went there because of Mox's book, but it was fantastic. So very excited for that. There's a Defy show, a Stardom show, and then GCW WrestleCon. I'm just going to go through 3 of the shows and their cards. And then, yeah, we'll send us on our way, ready to go forth into what should hopefully be a very, very good 5 to 6 solid days of awesome wrestling. 6, 7 a week. You can make it into a week if you're going into watching NXT and the Raw after everything. Wrestling never ends. It only gets bigger. And the more you watch, the more there is. And it gets bigger and bigger. And it takes over your life. And it's awesome. It's so good. So, starting with the ID tournament. The WWE ID, if you don't know, it's a bunch of indie wrestlers who have been given this little tag. I don't fully understand it. I think it basically means WWE have got their eye on you. And I think they get first crack. Essentially, they get some dibs on you. There's all kinds of different up and down things about what it actually entails, what they can do, what they can't do, the shows and stuff like that. But people like Zeta Steele, for example, I've seen her in multiple promotions. Mostly I've seen her in GCW. So she's still doing all these different shows, but she's also, I believe, doing the Evolve show. She's doing this WWE ID tournament. So these ID'd wrestlers are still getting to go out and do the good shit. So this tournament's going to be interesting. I don't know the match order. I've just got it as I've found it. But I've got, for the first match, is Zeta Steele, who is hilarious. Fucking hilarious. She's so very funny. Really enjoyable to watch. Against Kylie Ray, who is a ray of sunshine and absolutely brilliant as well. 2 lasses who, in the past 6 months, have really kind of come onto both mine and Nikki's radar. So excited to see that. We've got Marcus Mathers versus Sam Holloway. Marcus Mathers, big deal for me as far as it goes. I really like Marcus Mathers. I think he's a super hot talent. So I'm rooting for him in this. if I'm honest, him or Zeta. That Marcus Mabbers and Sam Holloway match is also a no DQ match. That's a round 1 match in this tournament. Another round 1 match in this tournament is Ice Williams, Atticus Koga, and Aaron Roberts. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. I too write like a doctor, but I am not one. That's a triple threat, so you've got no DQ rules. Atticus Koga is the only one I actually really know from there, but I know he's insane and a real intense character. Not intense in the same way as our boy in Infamous tonight, as Peter mentioned before. Intense in the way that he will wear you as skin. He will wear your skin as a suit. Kind of intense. In fact, he sort of did at the People versus GCW. He came as Megan Bain, and it was all kinds of creepy cool. And as horror fans, that was sick. We've got Aaron Rourke versus It's Gal. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who It's Gal, but I'm looking forward to it. Jordan Oasis versus Freedom Ramsey. It's the power of the awesomely cool names in this one for me. Jordan Oasis and Freedom Ramsey. Oh my God. Like that Freedom Ramsey just rolls off the tongue. Like I've read about him, you know, I've read his works, I've read his speeches, kind of shit. Like I don't know, he just feels so cool. So they're all what's the word? I'm looking for?
Participants.
They're all round 1 matches.
Right.
In this tournament matches. Yes, participants.
Participants would have been a good term to use.
There is a special attraction match as well between Zarazaka or Zarazaka. I think it's Zarazaka when I've heard a name pronounced before, against Izzy Moreno, who 2 people I've seen on GCW as well. Definitely check those, especially Zara. She very much reminds me of a hard-hitting lass, kind of like a Rio, like a Kanji. She's very, very cool, and I've really enjoyed her matches. So this entire card is full of just people I've seen in GCW or TNA or various promotions, and then other people I've never fucking heard of. So it's a really exciting one because those are the best ones usually, especially a situation like this where you've got again, it's full of the young, hungry people dying to be noticed, that the people who have worked for it for so long, they dedicated their life to wrestling, and now they are where wrestling spotlight is on. So good for every single one of them. Then we finish it up with this will probably open it, to be fair, but we never do things in order here. But it's Jack Cartwheel, who we know and love. The clue's in the name. He does cartwheels, and he's really fucking good at them. Sean Legacy, epic name. However, the name that I can't wait to see this guy and see what he's about. But Cappuccino Jones. Yes. If he's not a porn star in his off time, I don't see what the point is.
I'll be honest, as soon as I saw the name, I just thought of Taz.
As soon as, throw Jones onto the end of it. Cappuccino Jones over here.
Yeah. But I digress.
And it's those 3 against Jackson Drake and Swipe Right. Don't know Jackson Drake, however, Swipe Right recently made an appearance on NXT. They're part of the not Evolve. Is it Evolve? The YouTube show?
Evolve.
Yeah, Evolve.
The New York one. Well,
Yeah.
New York based.
Yeah. So Swipe Right, the only thing I've seen of these 2 is them coming in doing a corny, cheesy promo on NXT where they were talking about, like, basically just eyeing up ladies and stuff like that. It was all very, childish and stuff like that. However, there's one of the guys in Swipe Right. The clue's in the name, really, isn't it? But one of the guys, he has what I like to describe as Lex Luger face, in that his body is 20, but his face is 50-year-old Lex Luger. And I'll send a picture, and if you could just put his picture up in that moment, you will see what I mean. But I'm interested to see them wrestle properly. They've had a match on NXT. It was fine. It was against Fraxium. They showed them what was what. They're again though they're talented. So this particular show is cool for that reason. We get to see who people who certain promotions, WWE, feel like the eyes should be on. Whether you take any stock in that or not, that's entirely up to you. I personally don't see it either way because I have seen a lot of the wrestlers who are ID'd. I've seen them before, and I already know they could go. So it makes sense, and it just kind of gives you that thing of like, well, where are they going to go if they progress? Are they going to go over to NXT? Are they going to go over to AEW? Because that seems to be the kind of main two sides sort of thing, or the two major promotions.
Yeah.
Something like this, bringing everyone together. Some people who aren't ID'd, some people who are. I really love it as hopefully it being some kind of big melting pot of just people trying their fucking hardest to entertain, but hopefully not killing themselves in the process. So that's the ID show. That's the first one. That is at midnight. That is actually, from this moment, is in an hour 45 minutes. So I don't know if I'm going to stay up for it, but I'll be watching it first thing. That's for sure. Next one on my list is Dragongate, the Rebirth, which has... Now, this is... I barely know anyone on this card. So I'm really excited to see this one because I'm hoping to come away with a bunch of new wrestlers that I love. Because you've got people from CMLL over here. You've got CMLL, TNA, Ring of Honor, GCW, Stardom, and some Marigold as well. Like we've got loads of different people just converging in one promotion for the sake of this huge collective that is happening. So it's convergence within the convergence, and I love that shit. The match card that we have, again, no order particularly, but we've got Ho Ho Lun versus Reese Maddox. I won't do my research, but I'll see him when I see him, and I can't wait. We have got a team called The Sovereign versus El Cucuy, La Estrella, and Ultimo Dragon. I know Ultimo Dragon.
I was thinking that.
Everyone knows Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
But again, that's going to be really, really fun to see. Big six man. We've got Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Ben K and Hio, I don't know, versus Alec Price and Jimmy Lloyd. So you've got, that looks like a Ring of Honor GCW, and I don't know the other promotion, unfortunately, where the other two dudes are from. That's a three-way tag match. Nothing particularly on the line. It does give me a little bit of an inkling for something towards GCW, though. Alec Price is wrestling Violence is Forever for the titles. However, he doesn't have a partner because Raddy Daddy got very injured, which is sad. Him teaming with Jimmy Lloyd here could be a very interesting kind of like segue into maybe Jimmy Lloyd taking his place and taking Raddy Daddy's place. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they work as a team, especially now that Jimmy Lloyd is turned back face and stuff like that. He's gone back from Matt Cardona, and honestly, one of the most quickly accepted face turns I've ever seen in any promotion. It was literally just, no, fuck you. I'm not being your bitch anymore. Next time he's on screen, Jimmy fucking Lloyd. It was great. So yeah, looking forward to that.
One thing I will say, just because I don't know if you did, the Ultimo Dragon, La Estrella, El Cucuy.
Yeah.
Did you say who they were facing?
Sovereign.
Ah, okay.
So, but I don't have their names, unfortunately.
Right. So, because I have the names.
Oh, could you give me their names?
So it is Evan Rivers.
Okay.
Judas Icarus. Not the Icarus that I was thinking of. The one that had... sorry. that has Icarus tattooed on his back, which is one of the most hideous tattoo jobs you'll ever see. And Travis Williams.
Travis Williams, cool. I know Travis Williams.
Yeah.
I can pick, I'm guessing enough. It's kind of like going to a band's concert you've never really, like, you only really know their, like, 2 good hits kind of thing.
Because I have the matches on one site here. So if you are stuck, I can try and do my producing role and just give you any help.
No, but it's all. I'm flying through these right now, so it's all good. I moved on. I moved on from Ultimo Dragon and the Sovereign and all their banter. The next match we've got is now this one. I might need your help on it, producer. I'm going to say the name wrong. I'm just going to say it as it's spelled, KZY or KZ, versus Marcus Mathers. Marcus is pulling double duty today. As I imagine, a lot of the wrestlers are going to be battered by the end of this because they're doing 2 or 3 shows a day for like 3 or 4 days. It's a madness. There's going to be some people who come out of this different. Like work ethic alone, that's got to be a level up. But then the what it's going to do to their bodies, but their confidence at the same time. It's got to be such an experience for them. So
I just think of Derice last year seemed to be on every single show.
Every show, and you know what?
I think it was like 10 shows. I think he was on like 8 of them.
He is making an appearance on this list against 2 of my favorites as well. So, but that's for the next show. We then have Neo Genesis versus Hate. I couldn't find their names. When I wrote down the card, it wasn't like I had time to do this. I would have found their names. I know it's just a quick Google. But,
I do have names, but I don't know which match. Because I don't have the team names.
I know we've got Starkid in Neo Genesis.
Okay, so it's the other match I have the names, which I could butcher, so I will apologize. So you have Yamato and Dragon Kid and Susumu Yokosuka.
Yeah.
Versus Shun Skywalker, Kota Minoura, and Ishin.
Right. That I have not written that match down. Fair enough. This is why I need you, because that match was not on my card.
Right. This is, in the words of someone that used to hate when they used to get Greek names, I do struggle with Japanese names.
Oh yeah, I apologize for putting you in this position.
To be fair, I have only just come across this site now, and it had all the matches on. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. So if anything comes up again, as I say, I will let you know.
No worries. Well, we've only got one more match in this one, and that is. I don't think I've written this down right, but Z-Brats versus Paradox. I'm guessing that's a team. Those are teams.
I can see one other match, which could be that, but I think you've already so Starlight Kid and
that's Neo Genesis versus Hate.
Right. AZM versus Nasuko.
Oh yeah, Azumi's in there. Yeah, Azumi and Starlight Kid, right? Yeah. Okay, I do know who Neo Genesis is.
And that's all I have.
Because Azumi is the person who, whenever she is on one of our prediction lists, I always say her name and she doesn't win, or I don't say her name and then she does win. So if I'm doing a prediction on this and I want her to win, I'm going Hate. But yeah, like I say, Dragon's Gate, I don't know a lot of these wrestlers. I don't know a lot of these people. Sometimes, I mean, like years ago, that would have been a really difficult thing to kind of make myself watch because it's like I don't know it. It's not familiar to me. It's not something I don't know these people. It's like listening to an album of a band you've never heard of, and you just kind of like, how am I supposed to just sink myself into this? What if I don't like it? Nowadays, because the amount that we've watched, and because of last year at the Collective, this is a show that I'm really excited for. Not only that as well, but Charlie from the Zipwire charity that we've been plugging, Charlie over here. He's currently in America, and he bought his ticket on the plane over on the way and sent it to us and just said like, this is going to be one of the shows to watch. So, and I trust that. So, God bless you. No. And the last match I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to fly through, but this is a card that I am dead excited for. Just to wrap things up, is the DEFY show. This is going to be very, very cool because the first match is the Bollywood Boys and Galano Del Mal versus C4 and Negro Casas. I don't know the other teams, but I know the Bollywood Boys and Galano Del Mal, and I know that's going to be a really fun match. It's going to be very athletic, and imagine there's probably be a lot of fun spots on that one. So yeah, that's a very cool match that I'm looking forward to. Next up, we have Eliza Hall and Nicole Matthews and Rio from Progress. Rio versus Amira, Viva Van, and Vert Vixen. What a team! What a match! That's gonna fuck hard. That's gonna be a really, really good 6-woman match. It's gonna be nice to see Viva Van and Vert Vixen again. I haven't seen them in a while on shows myself, just because of what I've been watching, and they ain't been there. They've been in other places doing their thing in a very good way. Amira, it's been great to see her wrestling again. She came off a win, I think, in the last DEFY show. Was it the Streets of Rage show? I'm pretty sure she got a win at that. I don't know, but I'm pretty positive that match happened somewhere. Next up, one of the matches I'm really looking forward to is ELP El Fantasmo versus Clark Connors versus Man Like DeReese. Told you he'd be there.
Wherever there is wrestling and a chance to sell merch, DeReese will be there.
You've got to understand, his name is going to be coming up so much over the next few videos and stuff like that. Again, this is just Clark Connors, last time I checked, was the champion. However, it didn't say that this was a championship match. ELP versus Clark Connors and Man Like DeReese will go hard, though. ELP from New Japan is just insane. I think he's going to be hopefully making his way over here, like kind of like into the States and doing a bit more stuff stateside soon. There seems to be something going on in New Japan at the moment. I don't know. But Clark Connors as well. He's a multiple-time tag champion in New Japan. He is or at least was the DEFY champion. A Man Like DeReese. I mean, you've been here. You know the deal. He says 0-1. You say
2-1.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have an interesting match with the Rock and Roll Express against the Midnight Heat. Now, Rock and Roll Express, older dudes, but they're still going, and they're of that age though where they looked that age, the age that they are now.
They haven't aged since the 90s.
Really not. They've not changed a single goddamn bit. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Rock and roll never dies, though. That's the problem.
That is very true. No matter what they say.
Yeah.
Versus the Midnight Heat. I believe there is a Gibson on that team. So I'm pretty sure there's some family matters going on in this match. I've never heard of the Midnight Heat. I've obviously heard of the Rock and Roll Express. I've seen them many times, and I'm in awe of the fact that they move the way that they do at the age that they are at. So fuck yeah. If this is a family situation, I am so excited because that's just going to add a little bit of fun. The last father-son match I saw ended up with a barbed wire flail. So, you know, it can only end well. It's a good thing. Our penultimate match, is, this isn't one I ever had on my bingo card, but it's Evil from New Japan versus Michael Oku.
Sorry.
Evil.
Sorry.
Evil.
Thank you.
You awake? Absolute dude. Love it. Evil versus Michael Oku. Now they fucking play. As long as House of Torture doesn't come out and just do what they do every single time any of the House of Torture wrestles in New Japan, this could be a really, really good match for both of them on the American stage, on the weekend that it's on, in the place that they are in. This could be huge. Michael Oku has gotten about quite a lot in some in American shows and stuff like that over the last year that I've seen. I've not seen Evil about them. I know he went to the States. I know he did the New Japan Dojo in LA and stuff like that. However, I've never seen him anywhere other than New Japan. So I'm very excited to see him in different surroundings and see how that impacts him, because he's one of those guys who you can tell has got like pure star power, but I ain't experiencing it as much as I feel like it could be. But I genuinely feel House of Torture is a bugbear of mine because of the way that they book the House of Torture. It makes it feel like it's just a bunch of goons that aren't actually wrestlers. But you've got people like Ren Narita, Evil, Yo, Kanemaru. You know, they're good wrestlers. They're really fucking good wrestlers, but I don't get to see it underneath all the bollocks. But they are pure Japanese heels, so, and that's how things go over. Like, that's how they do things in New Japan.
It's interesting with Evil after I think it was the last night or the other night, wrestling on the New Japan Strong card, and he says, "I am not coming back to Japan."
Oh, is he not as well?
So it looks like he's possibly not coming back either.
Yep, Jesus Christ. So that would be him, Naito, Bushi. No, yeah, Bushi. And Jeffers
going.
Cobb
Which
was
knew kind of anyway.
Yeah, that was
that wasn't much of a shot because I think he got ID'd. I think. Alleged. I think there was a thing of they spoke to him.
Yeah.
I think he was going to be, but then they've just thought, we'll speak to you.
From my understanding,
Naito, I believe, reading from things this morning, has had 3 rounds of contract talks, and the 4th round just went, nah.
Yeah.
So something is amiss. Something is definitely amiss there. So,
well, with Naito leaving, this is now a New Japan without Okada, Tanahashi in full-time wrestling, and Naito. That's pretty nice. That's pretty wild. But yeah, the Jeffers Cobb thing, just as a little side point, all I saw of that was rumors that he's WWE bound, and then him being on Twitter or X or Bluesky, just kind of going, I'm gonna wrestle ELP in the New Japan Cup. It's just kind of, I don't know what's going on either, guys, kind of thing. It's so, but he's funny and he's a tricksy minx. He's got a real jokey personality. Jeffers Cobb. Sorry, Jeff Cobb. I call him Jeffers Cobb because it just sounds fancier. And he's a fancy dude. But yeah, so that's an exciting match between Evil and Michael Oku. Now on to our final or ultimate match. This is the ultimate match between Kenta and Mance Warner. Whoa. They're gonna go fucking stiff on each other. They're gonna get the fuck out of each other. It's not gonna be a pretty match. It is not gonna be technical moves at the wazoo. It's not gonna be flashy, athletic, high flying moves. They are going to have a fight, and I'm all here for it. Yeah. That's a great way to, if that's the main event, which I think it should be, that's a great way to end the show. So yeah, that's going to be my first mine and Nikki's first viewings and stuff like that. But there are more shows. Like I say, there is a Stardom show that we're going to check out, and a bunch of others. Like tomorrow, we're going to do another video, another record, where Peter will tell us about Future Shock. The show. Hopefully, his travel there was better. And
just the one bus.
Just one. See, just keep it nice and simple. There and back. So, and I will be talking about the wonderful shows that we've seen. Not going through them every single match, just some cool stuff that was there. And yeah, I'm just really pumped for this entire weekend. This week and weekend, it's something that we really aim towards this year. So, and with everything that Nick's going through. Now's a good time to just do a little bit of winding down at the end there, unless you've got anything you want to quickly add, Peter.
Nope.
Fuck. Just for last time. Yeah, this is something that we really look forward to. With everything that Nick's going through at the moment, I just want to shout out some of the things there. So if you don't actually know what's going on, the reason why she's not here, and the reason why she's been posting what she's been posting online, I mean, if you're not getting it from a post, then you're not reading the fucking post. But so Nikki has suffered for many years with adenomyosis and endometriosis and PMDD. They all suck, and they are all things that are genuinely attacking women and they're not getting the help that they need, and it sucks. It took years for us to get the surgery that she needed. It took over the course of 4 years, and that's not including the 7 other years that she's been dealing with it with. So for her to be where she's at now is not a good thing, but a good thing that she's been able to have it so she can move forward. But there's still a lot of crap that women are going through with that in that kind of the medical realm. And I see it across the board. I see it in my own family. I see it in my friends, and I see it in my partner. So I personally just wanted to use this right now to be like, fuck that. Show some love. Listen to people who are going through some stuff like that, because genuinely you might think, oh, you're just complaining, but I've seen the results and it's fucking scary. So to have this weekend happening now is amazing, because it's going to be a real boost to Nikki. It's going to be a real boost to myself. Not that I'm fine. I don't have ovaries, so it's fine. I'm all good. I just want to watch wrestling, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to spend the entire time watching wrestling, watching people fight the fight that she wants to do. So that's a little bit of that there. I did say I would say something just to show some love to anyone out there who's suffering. Don't suffer in silence. No matter what people make you feel, don't suffer in silence. Onto a slightly more on the not that was negative, but on the positive side, our boy Charlie over here, who hits fucking target like a legend, and we've reported it, is going for that big 1,000. He's there at the minute, and he's close. He can hit 1,000. So probably for the last time, we will post a link for Charlie's Zipwire adventure, Zipwire challenge. So congratulations to him. Shout out to all the wrestlers who are there at the moment, who we are going to be watching over the next few days. The Progress show is coming up. The GCW shows are coming up. And there's, like I say, it's the collective. It's this melting pot where all these different promotions will allow you to all just make sweet, sweet wrestling love to one another. And we all get to watch it and talk about it like we know what we're doing. It's so great. So thank you for giving me a purpose for the next 5 days. That's the main thing. It's just something to keep it all going. But yeah, I've spoken fast and I've spoken a lot. Peter, you are an angel of patience. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow to discuss Future Shock and other collective stuff.
Hurrah.
Shall we wave?
Let's do.
Till next time, folks.